What was a fluid mechanics problem that was state-of-the-art in 1961 to try to solve?
Well, the one that the programming for was solving the Laplace equation of the tides to estimate the height of the tides in the global ocean, which is a gigantic linear algebra problem.
Why was that the job of somebody in the Army?
Well, I was in the Army. It's a complicated. I don't want to explain the whole machinery because it's complicated. But basically, I was actually working for a civilian project funded by the U.S. Air Force, because the motion of the tides has an impact on the motion of satellites, which affects how you communicate with them, how you aim beams at them.
I can't help but point out that you're working on a grant funded by the Air Force, but you're not allowed to own a U.S. machine?
Right.
Okay. All right.
The logic is not.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Then I decided I became very strong in the conviction that what we want to do is some kind of computation to do with math and physics and differential equation. I just loved those calculations. So I applied to the Hebrew University for admission to the math program, and they gave me an interview. They admitted me, and they told me that what I want to study, they don't teach. And they advised me to go abroad. I wrote to Paris, and they admitted me too for some program, conceivably Lyon's program, I'm not sure, but I couldn't fund it. And then Durham advised me to apply to American universities, which I did. And when the admissions came, he advised me to go to Courant, of which I'd never heard before. In fact, he was more specific. He told me to go to Courant to work with Peter Lax. And so I did it. It helped that NYU was enthusiastic about getting me. I applied on a Monday, and I got a response in a week. Monday afterwards, there was a letter with admission, which is amazing. Nowadays, it's inconceivable because the mail is slower. I guess not email. So anyway, so I went to Courant, and that was a very good. I was very happy.
Was that your first trip to the U.S.?
Yeah, of course.
How did you get there?
At the time, the cheap way of getting to the U.S. was by boat. And they had student boats, which left nothing but students, which left ports in France and came to New York. And it was a week-long party. It was great. So that's how I came to the States.
You landed in New York? Or?
Actually, I landed in Hoboken, which where this whole America pier was. And I was shocked by Hoboken, because Hoboken is a slum. And my idea of America was Doris Day movies. And that was not I was shocked. I was shocked by New York, which I loved, but I was surprised by how unclean and disorderly it was, which was great.
Did they arrange housing? How did this work?
No, but they gave me a fellowship.
And so you had to go find housing?
Yes, but at the time it wasn't like now. I mean, I had an apartment by myself in the village on a student's stipend. In fact, on a reduced student stipend, because American students got more than foreigners.
What year is this?
This is 1962.
You started Courant.
Yes.
What was it like?
Well, Courant was a ball. I mean, Courant was wonderful. It was a magical place. I loved New York. I loved Courant Institute. I remember sitting in the classroom and thinking to myself that for the first time in my life, I'm taking a class in something I actually want to know. And it was wonderful. The people were great. I mean, think of the list of people. Peter Lax, Joe Keller, Kathleen Mowitz, Garbidian, Moser, Donsker. It was just wonderful. And of course, New York was wonderful. The anonymity was great. And all the great things you can go and see. The village was alive. I just love New York.
Now, you're in Greenwich Village during a time where lots of things are happening. I mean, what was it like to go to school during the day and then wander around all of that in the afternoons and evenings?
It was great. I can't describe it otherwise. And the classes were great. I thoroughly enjoyed them. When Peter asked me my last year whether I wanted to stick around as a postdoc at NYU, which I hadn't realized was possible, I was ecstatic. It was just, and working with Peter Lax was great also. He was kind, he was helpful. It was a great experience.
How did you find what you were going to work on when you were there? I mean, you took classes like people do.
Well, I was already committed to doing things which were very applied. And also when NYU got the first big computer, the CDC 6400, I thought that was an opportunity because I already knew how to program. I had some experience with some big problems on computing, and this was an opportunity. I had an advantage, and no one around had such a big machine. So I thought that was a good thing for me to do.
Now, if I recall, it had a machine because there was this intricate connection with the Atomic Energy Commission and Los Alamos, et cetera.
Yes, absolutely.
So was that the first university to have such a fancy machine at the time?
It was a prototype, so I think it was the biggest machine anywhere. I'm not sure anymore, but it was certainly bigger than anything I'd worked on before or heard anybody work on before.